I was just like, hey, what do you want? And then like I straight up, and then the guy was like, hey, it's the director at Zoll of the OA. And I was just like, oh, I was like, yo, man, what up?
What's up, guys? Today's guest is a professional breakdancer on roller skates turned actor who you can catch in Netflix's show, The OA. Please welcome to the JAMCast, Mr. Brandon Perea. What's up?
Yo, the boy. We are here, Travis.
Yo, welcome, man. I'm so glad you made it by, dude.
Yeah, dude, of course. It's awesome to be here. This is crazy.
Thanks for making the time, and I love this jacket, by the way. It's
super dope. Well, what's it called? The Melrose Trading Post? There this dude, okay. Michael. Writings from Michael.
I was wondering. I was like, is that a custom? Have you fully made it?
Not me, dog. Not me. There's some things that I do, but I am not making jackets.
That's awesome, brother. Well, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I was really stoked to have you on because like I followed your movement journey like over the years, and to see you on the big screen now is really cool. So, just really quick for people out there right now, we're on season 2 of your show.
Yes, sir.
Where can people watch it, and what's it called?
Yeah, so I'm on the show called The OA on Netflix, and it's running 2 seasons right now. So both seasons are out, 8 episodes for each part. So yeah, man, it's been a crazy journey, like a dream come true, dog. It's been nuts.
And for fans on the show, what's your character name out there?
Oh, so my character name is Alfonso French Sosa, but most people call me French on the show.
French, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And so how long ago did the journey on the show start? When did you guys start filming season 1?
So we started filming season 1 in the... When was it? It was the beginning of 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, because we started like... February 2016 for me at least, yeah.
And where did shooting take place? Was that locally here in LA, or were you guys on location somewhere?
So first season we did New York, and then some people did Cuba, and then I think they did like Russia drone shots. So it was
no way. But you were just in New York, right?
Yeah, I was just in New York farting around for like 3.5-4 months, yeah.
Were you guys in like the heart of the city, or where were you at?
Me, I stayed in Upper West Side, Manhattan. It was nice.
Not too bad, dude.
Yeah, not too bad, dude. I was chilling.
I did a movie like I did the first Purge.
Yeah.
We were out in Buffalo. So on our off time, there wasn't as much to do as over where you were.
Yeah, there's times where we would go up north too to, what was it called? I think it was called like Woodbury or something.
Woodbury, okay.
Yeah, so like the outlets up there, and there's like, that's all there is to do out there.
Yeah, near us, we just basically had like Niagara Falls. And then like if you wanted to venture over to Canada, you could. But
that's dope.
Yeah, I'm definitely jealous of your experience over there. Three months as being an actor on a show in New York is probably pretty cool.
It was unreal, but like I wasn't even 21 yet, so I was kind of just farting around New York trying to figure it out. But it was cool for this season because we got to travel a lot. Like we did LA, San Francisco, back to New York, and then most of my stuff was in Oregon this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were kind of hopping.
And how long was production on this season? Was it about 3 months as well, or?
Because it's different because we have like the 2 different casts, like in 2 different like worlds, I guess.
Totally.
So it's just different block shooting.
Okay.
So let's say for Britt, I think she starts usually in like January, and then she wraps in like June. And then with us, like we start in the middle of that, and then we finish in June.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's super cool.
It's pretty nuts.
And so how did you hear about this show, or like how did you audition for this part? Have you been focused on acting, and were you trying to secure like a role like this?
Yeah. So like I started acting at 16 because it was, I was always skating, right? So I was doing the breakdancing on roller skates thing. And then I moved out here at 16 because someone told me, they're like, oh, are you going to skate forever? Like your body will stop at some point, right? And I'm like, shit, you're right, dog. Like I got to figure some shit out. So I was like, fuck, let me figure something out. They're like, what's your dream? I was like, well, I've always wanted to act. And then they're like, well, what are you doing in Chicago? And I was like, oh, no, I'm just skating, man. I don't know what to do. And then he's like, you got to move to LA. And I was like, sure, I'm going to move to LA at 16.
Wow.
3 months later, my buddy Tony Zane, I think you know Tony.
I do know Tony Zane.
One of the skaters, he hit me up and was like, yo, I got a room that just opened up in my apartment. If you want it, you got to like say yes on the phone right now. And I was like,
no way.
Yeah, I'm down.
Were you still in school?
Yeah, so I was doing online school because I was traveling a lot.
Okay. Yeah, so, I know you're competing and traveling and stuff.
K-12 Academy. What up? I graduated, baby. 3.9 GPA. That's awesome. So it was hard though. Yeah. Homeschooling was rough. But What else? Yeah, so I moved out here. I talked to my parents. They're like, yeah, go ahead. Like, you make a good living off of skating. If you can afford it, you think you can do it, go ahead. And
wow, that's cool.
So it was great to have their support. And then, yeah, I bounced at 16, and then that's like when I started acting.
No way.
Sure. Yeah.
And did you have like enough money saved up, or like what did you come out here with? Because I know adults that come out here and move back in a year. You know what I'm saying? So like for you to tell me you moved at 16, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was good because I was sponsored by this company at the time, and I was making good money with them, and I was traveling a lot for skating as well because I'd like fly to different rinks, and I was used to being gone because even when I lived in Chicago with my parents, I was gone probably 40 weeks out of the year, just always skating at different rinks, touring around the U.S. And then once the opportunity came, it was kind of like, well, you're kind of not home already. So, and I wasn't paying bills or anything, so all that money was just piling up. And then,
yeah, okay,
not to make it sound like I'm a rich motherfucker by any means,
but you had like no expenses at that time until you moved to LA.
Exactly.
Wow,
yeah.
That's super awesome. So when you moved out here to LA, I guess you knew Tony, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Other than that, did you have like any friends or family out here, or
no friends, no family? It was only Tony, and then I started meeting people through acting classes.
Okay.
So that's when I started really meeting friends and kind of creating my core group. And then you go through your groups as the years go on,
as you mature and change.
Yeah,
and they change.
Yeah. It was funny because it was either acting class or I was at White Lotus.
No way.
Yeah, dude. So like classic days, dude.
Yes. For those of you out there, White Lotus was the gym before Jam.
Yep.
That I started way back in the days. Yeah.
The OGs.
That's crazy. Way back to 2009, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Man, so you were just a young kid during these times, just out here in LA trying to make it. Did you sign with a dance agency out here, or did you sign with acting agency? What did you do?
So I had a Chicago agent originally, Shirley Hamilton, and then I told them I was moving to LA, and then they connected me with Brady, Brandon, and Rich, BBR, a commercial agency out here. Okay. And then I took a meeting with them, and they just signed me there on the spot, and I was just like, oh, damn. I was like, this is crazy. And then they threw me in like little classes and whatnot, and then everything kind of fell into my lap in a weird way. It kind of all like happened like first week basically
of being in LA.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like the first 2 weeks of being in LA, everything just fell into my lap, and I was like, "Thank you, God!" Like, oh my goodness, this is so weird.
I love hearing people's stories. So, like, yeah, what happened to you when you moved out here? Like,
so when I moved out here, there was the first week I was just getting a car, just setting up the apartment, going to IKEA, and like getting all my shit. And then we did a Sonic drive-in convention show in Vegas, like a skating thing.
Okay.
And then this is the midst of me trying to figure out life, right? So I meet the commercial agency. It goes well. Then we have this show in Vegas. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm going to go skate.
Okay.
And the guy who was the warm-up host of the show, like this funny comedian dude, he ends up being a manager. Okay. And I'm like, I'm just skating, doing my thing like normal. And then I leave the show, and then he grabs one of the other skaters. He's like, hey, who was that kid? And then they're like, what do you mean, what kid? There's like 13 skaters on the stage. Like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then he's like, the little kid, like he looks like Mexican and Asian. Where's he at? And then he's like, oh, Brandon. He's like, oh, I don't know. We'll go find him.
Yeah.
And the next day we set up like a little Starbucks thing. He ends up being a talent manager in Los Angeles. Wow. And he was like, you just glowed on that stage. Like, you amazing. You glow. And this guy, Joby, he's a crazy British dude. He's just like, it was amazing to see you. You're just glowing. Roller skates. Oh, I love it. He's like, do you act? And I was like, kind of. I'm trying, dog. Like,
yeah.
Throw me in a class. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, come to LA. And then he invited us to a Victoria Justice like show, like at a carnival. And then this is like my first like time really with like a celebrity experience of like meeting like Victoria Justice, and I have like the biggest crush on her like back in the day, and I'm meeting her just like, oh my gosh,
smart manager, man.
I know, right?
Trying to seal the deal.
This is the life.
Exactly.
And he ends up working with me. He's like, you want to work together? And I was like, fuck yeah, man. I was like, I don't have shit out here. I'm just trying to figure it out. And then a week after that, this is just blowing my mind. I haven't talked about this in so long. The week after that, he takes me to this house party, and it's this agent's housewarming party. And then he's like, hey, man, pretty big agent, just like her and Joey. So, hey, man, pretty big agent, just be yourself, just be normal, don't do anything crazy. It's nice. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just chill out. We go there, we're chilling out for like 15 minutes, and then we bounce. And then the guy ends up texting Joby right away. While I'm in the car, he's like, who was that kid?
No way.
Yeah, and then I got signed. Like I took a meeting with him like a few days later, and then I got signed by him.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So commercial agent, manager, and theatrical agent, all like boom, boom, boom. Like
you didn't even have to seek him out. Yeah.
Nothing. Like
that's crazy.
First 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Nuts.
That's
Thank
pretty
God.
wild.
I love you, God.
Yeah, I know, for real. I've had some interesting stories. I had a very similar thing where my first time I moved to LA.
Yeah.
Literally, first thing I ever did was drive my friends to an audition.
Yeah.
Drove them to their audition. I parked my car outside because I was the one that had an SUV.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the hallway. They come out of their callback, and this lady leans her head in and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, I drove them." She's like, "Come here really quick." But go inside. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here, right? I'm not repped or anything. I walk outside. My car gets towed. We're like, oh, we don't even have a ride now, you know?
Fuck, dude.
Literally, we're walking to the impound. I get a call. Like, hey, is this Travis? I'm like, yeah. They're like, we want a Taft-Hartley on a Coca-Cola commercial that you just went in for. And I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Like, I was just driving my friends. Like, yeah, but we want to Taft you. This is a Coke commercial. I'm like, okay, cool.
Damn.
And so literally, I tell my friends, they're like, what the hell? And so they tell their agent signs me. And I'm like, a week in, booked a national commercial, and I got an agent, you know?
Dude, that's fire. That's great.
Crazy,
Your friends were probably like, this motherfucker.
Dude, I'm telling you, yeah. I'm sure people think that about both of us, though, like hearing these stories, because it's so irregular. Like, to move to LA and have an agent like that is unheard of.
100%, because, usually, because you never want to give yourself like 1 year in LA, because like 1 year is so fast. Like, and you start to realize that.
100%.
So when people start complaining and shit, like, especially my friends that are doing well right now for under a year, I'm like, yo, shut up. You guys are killing it right now. Like, I know so many people that don't have reps or anything, and they've been out here grinding forever.
Totally.
So it's just a matter of who it happens for. It's kind of crazy. We just kind of stick with it.
Like, be ready though, and you were ready. You know, like you were ready. Yeah. So like, you get signed to these agents and managers, and then what do? You just focus straight on acting classes every day, or what was your focus at that point?
Yeah, I was taking a lot of acting classes. I was just getting tossed in whatever, and it was great to be financially stable. And like the skating company I was with was very supportive of me, as well as the acting thing, so they would help me out with classes if I needed it, and that was incredible.
That's cool.
So yeah, man, it was dope to just be in there just learning, and but for me, like, I'm a slow ass learner when it comes to anything. Like, let's say with like tricking, right? Like, it takes me a while to kind of get something on the day, or like with acting as well. Dude, like, I was trash. I was like garbage, bro. Like, it was so bad. Like, I'd always get that term like, oh, he's green still. And I'm like,
you're like, dang, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah, dog, I hate it.
No
but
one
it's
wants
like,
to hear that.
Yeah, so I was just like, it was definitely a long process for sure. Like, and I was just auditioning. They were tossing me in certain rooms, and then, like, I remember thinking when I was like, I thought I was ready back then, and I'm like, now I look back and I'm like, no, the fuck you weren't, dude. Like, you just gotta trust your people and like trust your gut. Because I was in some audition rooms where I was fucking bombing, and I was just like, dude, I should not be doing that.
And that could be worse for your career in some ways, for like these casting directors to see you in a not so ready light, I guess.
100%. Dude. Yeah, man. It's a pretty crazy process. I think with acting, it's just like, you just got to stick with it, because you got to realize there's so much competition out here. And for me, even personally, like, I don't even really look at it as competition, because I'm like, whoever gets the job gets the job at this point. Like, I just want to do a good job, and that's my job. Me booking the job, that's not my job. But if I get it, then it's like my whole like 3-step process with acting is like, if you get the audition, you got the job. If you get a call back, you got a promotion at your job. And if you book the job, you're going on vacation.
Nice.
Because I love what I do.
Dude, that's a cool way to look at it. Yeah, I've never really looked at it like that. Yeah.
Because like, it like takes the nerves away from me as well, because these rooms are fucking horrible. Like, I hate them. Like, like, have you done acting auditions?
100%, yeah. And people don't understand how crazy they are. Like, people don't realize until you come to LA what these rooms are like, and how cutthroat they are, and how dry they are. Yeah, dude. And that's why, like, when you see people that book jobs, though, you're like, oh, that person has something. They have like a factor or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah,
dude. It's a crazy process. Like, I love self-tapes. I love self-tapes because I get to just like set up in my comfort zone and then do my thing, because being on set and then being in an audition room, totally different setting because like when you're on set, you have all your tools there. Like you have the other great actors instead of like someone that's just like a reader in a room, and then you have like a table, you have like your glass of water, like you have all these things to work with. But when you're in an audition room, like you just have to imagine everything, which is like, it's hard. And then there's someone like judging you like right there, but they're not judging you because they want you to be right for the job. But it's like, you just have that pressure. It's like a big thing. I'm like, oh man, I'm going out for this multi-million-dollar thing. Like, oh, I got to kill it. And I have to memorize 8 pages of sides. Shit. Oh, fuck. All right. Here we go.
That's crazy. And did you have any success on any other major shows before the OA, or did you book any major acting roles leading up to this?
So I did a lot of commercials. Back in the day. So I've probably done like 9 or 10 commercials.
Cool.
And that was another thing keeping me afloat out here as well. And I love commercials.
Yeah, me too, dog.
And I know, dog, right? You know?
That's my thing, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's like, they're great because you work one day and then you get paid a great amount of money.
Yeah.
It's almost fucking unbelievable.
Especially back in the days too.
Yeah.
It's a lot different now.
Now everything's non-union.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you FICOR or no?
No, I'm not.
Me neither.
Yeah, I'm not. I've contemplated it because my commercial agent has suggested it.
Yeah.
But I've done pretty well. I'm at like I'm at 35 right now, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so they're like, dude, you could double your number. And I was like, no need to.
I know,
no need to get greedy. No need to get greedy.
That's right. You do like everything, dog. Like, look at what we're sitting here at a Jam podcast right now. He had White Lotus. He has Jam. I'm at his house right now.
Yeah, well, we're trying, man. We're trying. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. Now that's okay. So you did commercials.
Yeah. So commercials, and then when it came to normal acting jobs, dude, it took me a long time. Like I think
that's what I was gonna ask. How long do you think you were in classes before you like start booking stuff as far as acting roles?
So acting roles, like, because when you know commercial auditions, it's like you go in there, you just read whatever's on the board, or like they'll just have you improv something.
Sometimes it could be your look that gets you those, you know.
100%. It's like almost like a lottery ticket at this point.
I agree.
But with theatrical, there's points where I was getting close for big stuff, and then I wasn't booking it, and because I didn't have a resume at all, like. My resume was shit.
Yeah.
It was shit. And like it's still kind of like at a lower tier because I don't have a lot of stuff on it. Cause now I'm a picky little bastard. Like I'm not gonna lie.
The role. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the first thing that I booked that was like true acting role, like I did the audition, I did the callback, and then I got like an offer. It was for this movie Dance Camp.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, YouTube Red,
totally.
True Studios,
yes.
And Awesomeness TV. So that was like my first like real movie gig.
No way. Okay.
And I appreciated it so much because I got to breakdance in it, I got to skate in it, and I got to act in it, which is great. I'm horrible in the movie. Like I'm absolute dog shit garbage in the movie. But I will always cherish that experience because that's the first time I learned about like acting in any sense of being
like
on
real
set.
On-set acting.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Like having a trailer that like my name is on it, and I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy. And then just learning terms of an Apple box of like LA, Chicago, New York, like just that stuff, and just being in front of like red cameras and seeing like how close they are. Like when it was a great experience to have that of being on a real set. Cause that, if I didn't have that, I would have not been really prepped for OA, at all. Because OA is a different level.
Yeah. You're on a full-on production show, with multiple units in multiple cities and stuff.
Yeah, because it was crazy going from a journeyman, just going in auditions, and then I get dance camp, and then right from dance camp, I get something like, I was auditioning for a point, just like
staying busy, trying to,
just trying to get anything, and then OA fell into my lap like in a crazy way, and I could tell you that whole OA story if you want to.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what I want to get to next. Is like how did you stumble upon this? Because I know for this you self-taped.
Yeah.
And so how did you get the call for the audition? Was it through your manager, your agent?
It was through my agent. They sent me a self-tape audition. And then I did that. I filmed it in my old NoHo apartment with my old roommate at the time, Diamond Walker. You might know Diamond Walker.
That was who did the other side?
Yeah. The other one's Jordan McQuiston, because this was the self-tape callback.
Pull up his YouTube. One of these. Yeah.
Damn.
We won't make you watch this whole thing because.
Hey man, it is what it is. Here we go. I'm going for the role of French in the OA. Oh God! Look at my face. It was so fat.
This is wild, man.
I was like pale tan.
So how long did you have to study for this self-tape?
Well, so the funny thing is, this was a self-tape callback.
Oh.
So the first tape that I did a tape with Diamond, right? And then I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
For a year. A whole year, I didn't hear nothing. And then 1 year later, while I'm not auditioning at all, like it's been slow, I get a call back. And then I was like, a callback for fucking what? I was like, I haven't been out for shit. Yet. So I was like, what is this? And it ended up being, I saw the name French. And I was like, oh, I remember this project, French, the OA. I was like, damn, this is crazy. I was like, it's been like a year. So then I do this tape.
You do this tape?
Yes.
In your living room?
In my living room in the house in Winnetka that we used to have, like right down the street from here. It was crazy. We did that. And then, yeah, it was nuts.
And is this one scene right here?
Yeah, this one was one take monologue. Right. And then I tried to do like a couple takes after, and they were just like, the first one was it. And it was crazy reading with Jordan, because Jordan's usually like a nitpicky asshole, like as well. Like he's like, I don't know, like you could do this or try that. And then, so we just went with this take, and this was the take that got me the job.
Wow.
It was nuts because I sent in the tape. We got feedback on it within, what was it? We got feedback. So we sent the tape in. The next morning, we got feedback like that.
Wow.
And it was through a big casting director. Yeah, like Avi Kaufman in New York, and she's like a really big casting director. So my agents and managers, they were freaking out. They're like, Avi responded quick.
Wow.
They're like, that doesn't happen. And then I was like, yeah, that doesn't happen, because it took them a year to call me back. I was like, oh my gosh. And then, so we did I did a Skype interview. They're like, yeah, they want to meet you on Skype like today, like in a few hours. And then I was like, oh shit, all right. So I put like a nice shirt on, and then I'm just like basically wearing basketball shorts on there. Yeah. Just like, hey guys, how you guys doing?
Business up top, party down below.
Exactly, right? So I'm sitting there in the Skype meeting with the director. And he just asked me questions about life. He didn't make me read sides or anything.
Nice. Just getting a feel for you as a person.
Exactly, which I love. Like, that's how I wish auditions were. It's like, here, watch my work, and then just talk to a director to see how you guys mesh.
Yeah, because you're going to work with someone for 3 months.
Yes.
That's more important to me sometimes, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was dope to talk to him, and then he was just asking me questions. And then he asked me my ethnic background. And he's like, what are you? What's your ethnicity? I was like, oh, I'm half Filipino, half Puerto Rican. And then in his words, he was like, no fucking way. And then I was like, what? He's like, hold on 1 second. Like, let me grab Avi. And then Avi walks in the room, and he's like, Brandon, can you please tell her your ethnicity? And then I was like, I'm half Filipino, half Puerto Rican. She was like, same word. She's like, no fucking way. Wow. And then I'm like, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, I was like, what are you guys talking about? I was like, you guys really like this ethnicity?
Yeah.
And they're like, we casted your mom already, and we thought we were gonna have to let her go because we couldn't find any actors that were like similar to her, and she was Filipino. And they're like, we're tripping out. They're like, we're gonna fly you out to New York. And I thought I was gonna have like another read, so I was like, oh, okay, cool, like, all right, let me know what's up. And then a week later, I'm just waiting around. My manager, I have a missed call from New York. Actually, I have a missed call from New York. I wake up in the morning, and then I listen to the voicemail, and then it sounds like some ad agency just trying to sell me some shit. Yeah. And I was just like, nah, fuck out of here. I'm not calling this shit back. But then my manager called me, and she's like, hey, we don't really know what's going on with the Netflix thing. Like, we're still trying to, like, I don't know if we have to negotiate a test deal or something. Yeah. Like, we're still waiting. And then I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I was like, she's like, yeah, so I'll let you know if I hear anything. I was like, okay, cool. She hangs up, and I was like, you know what, just call the New York number back, just in case. I call it back, and then I respond as soon as they answer with like I sound like an asshole. I was just like, hey, what do you want? And then like I straight up, and then the guy was like, hey, it's the director at Zoll of the OA. And I was just like, oh! I was like, yo, man, what up?
Totally.
Like, how you doing, dude? What's good? No way. And he was just like, yeah, no, everything's fine. How you doing? I was like, I'm good, whatever. And then I was like, I'm just chilling, I just woke up. And then he was like, so we were calling to see if you would like to play French in the OA for us. Would you like to join us on this journey?
Offered it to you over the phone?
Over the phone. And
what it wasn't, the hell?
Yeah, it wasn't my manager telling me. It wasn't my agent telling me. Like, this was so different.
This is so weird. This never happens. For people out there listening, this is not the protocol that this happens on.
I know. It's like nearly like not allowed.
We literally have agents and managers for this to happen.
Yes,
they go through and call them, check our avail, then they call us,
yes,
and then they tell us we booked it.
So it's crazy to hear it from his mouth, right? Like he was like, we'd like to offer you the role of French in the OA. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. He's like, you ready to move to New York for a couple months? And I was like, I'm down for whatever, dude. Like, I don't care. Yeah. And then we hung up. And then as soon as I hung up the call, I just started bawling my eyes out. Yeah, and then I ran out my room just screaming, I booked it. Tony Zane, I saw him and we were roommates still. I gave him a hug and I'm just like crying in this dude's shoulder. It was a crazy experience.
That's cool, man. That is so cool. That is so unique too. That's like an insane story, having an audition and then a year later getting a call back.
Yeah, man.
And then getting told you get booked over the phone by the director.
And like on a self-tape too, because usually you got to go in the room and that's what's beautiful about Netflix.
That's what I'm saying. You usually got to go in a room at least to go to producer run-throughs or something, at least to network or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow,
which is like... So I was very surprised that, like, because it's a series regular role, like, from
it's not just a guest star, not a single episode guest star.
It's crazy. It's crazy that it booked off tape, like, and that always blows my mind. Dude, straight up, thank God every day, because I'm like, because maybe if I went in the room, maybe I would have been too nervous and blew it or something.
It's very possible, or if like you don't have energy with your reader, or like good chemistry with the other actor they put in the room. Sometimes that's happened to me before.
Oh, really?
I'm like, I just didn't vibe with people, and like I'm like, I just crapped the bed,
Because there's some people that be just fucking farting around in there.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like there's some readers that read mechanically on purpose, like emotionless, so that they're just trying to give you nothing.
I heard that
everything. I swear to God, it's happening.
It's actually true because
nothing.
I talked to someone that was a reader for a casting director, and the casting, like the reader was like giving the other actor energy. It was like really trying, and then as soon as that actor walked out, the casting director was like, "You can't give them that much.
Yeah.
Like you have to bring it down."
Yeah.
And then it was like they're like, "What? Really? Like I thought we're just trying to like help these actors," and it's like, I don't know, man.
Nope, not at
crazy.
all.
Yeah, I know, right? Not at all.
So crazy, man. That's such like a unique story, man. But your story in general is just so crazy to me because everything you've done leading up to this point has like kind of gotten you ready in some regards. Like you were homeschooled and like you were on this path to entertainment. Yeah. But even what you did as a kid was like totally unique. So like what is jam skating?
Oh, okay. Yeah, jam skating. Dog, you tell me, motherfucker.
He said it's so like
well, it's always it's a funny name because like it's like breakdancing on roller skates, but then I hear jam skating and breakdancing on roller. Even that sounds crazy too.
Guys, I didn't bring it up because it has jam in the name. This is literally what it's called, right?
Yeah, it's literally
please clarify this. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and this is not a plug for jam in any sense. It's called jam skating. So yeah, breakdancing on roller skates.
And what's funny is, this is how I knew you originally. Like you definitely came by White Lotus and stuff, but I always knew you as the kid on roller skates. Yeah, that was doing breakdancing.
Yeah.
And like for those of you out there that are probably like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Paul, pull up some of these videos. We're gonna take a look at some of these. Go to these Instagram ones. Yeah, let's watch this one.
This is it. This is at Jam.
This is at Jam. Oh. Hey, and Diamond Walker.
Yeah, Diamond's there chilling.
Bro, so for those of you listening right now, go visit the YouTube video of this one and watch, because you got to see what my man is doing. He's hitting breakdancing power moves. He just did a backflip with full-on roller skates on.
Damn, this is mad funny to watch. The air chair.
Catches the air chair. He's doing head spins right now, guys, with roller skates. Hit a windmill back up to his feet. Yo, pull up one more, Paul. There's got to be another one on here.
Oh, damn. This one. Here we go.
Let's see. What's this?
Skirt.
Yo! And that's like more of a skating move, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That's a skating move.
It's like a jackhammer, but then you.
Oh my God.
Wait, what's it called? A bazooka, but then I put like my leg behind my head.
So, bro, how long you been doing this for?
I've been doing this for a minute. Let's see. I started probably when I was like 11 years old, 10 or 11, and then
traditional skating or always jam skating.
So the whole story with skating, how it started was like, I'd go to the local roller rink because it was kind of like our teenage club, basically.
Okay.
And I'd go there, and then I'd battle everyone breakdancing. When the session was over, they had the dance dance session right after the skating was done.
Nice.
And I'd battle every soul in that building. Like,
so how long you been breakdancing for?
I've been breakdancing since I was a kid because my dad was a breakdancer. So him and like the other Pereas of my family, like we all grew up dancing. So they teach me like windmills and stuff. So when I was younger, I was like doing windmills and like trying to learn all these different little things. And then it kept expanding and expanding, and I just always did it. And I'd always go to, like, if I was at like a teenage party or something, I'm breaking a backflip out for sure.
Yeah,
like I'm battling the person that's like doing waves and stuff, and I'm like, y'all trash. I got this right here. So I started the breakdancing thing, and then I saw people kind of breakdancing on roller skates at the rink I was going to, Main Street USA in Streamwood, Illinois. But it's rest in peace, that rink. Wow. It's gone now. But I'd always breakdance, and then I saw people breakdancing on roller skates, and then there was like 2 girls that like did it as well, and there was like a girl I had a crush on, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get these skates, and I'm gonna win some love. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like as a young buck, dude, just trying to like.
We've talked about this on the show before, like with Sosa, this tricking 14-year-old kid. We're like, he's either gonna get motivation from girls, or he's gonna leave the game real soon.
I feel one of the two, right? It really is. It's funny, and like it was crazy because like I thought I was gonna do it for just the girls, and then I started falling in love with skating a lot, and then I was like, damn, this is actually like pretty dope, and it was a great expression. And then and I sucked at that too, and that's what gives me motivation, because like with anything that I start, I usually get made fun of for like how bad I am at something, because when I started skating, I was not good at footwork at all. Okay. Like I was trash. I could barely balance. Like I was just like doing windmills on skates, and then people freaked out because of that. Yeah. But then like the people would be like, yeah, you got windmills, but you can't like skate though.
Can't do the basic stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, shut up. Yeah. Like let me do my thing. And then I kept skating, and I practiced all the time. God bless my mother, who would drive me to the rink like every day and just drop me off. And the people there too that were so welcoming of like just having me there at all times. Like I was probably such like a little annoying kid, just like keep trying to skate and everything. But yeah, I just kept skating, and then I started competing. And then actually I got noticed from MySpace. That's when I started meeting the bigger skaters, because I looked up to Tony and Diamond and Jordan. Like I like love those guys. Like they were like my celebrities that I'd looked up to. And then I remember Tony like messaged me on MySpace one day and was like, yo man, what you're doing is dope. We got to skate sometime. And I was just like,
sick. Yeah, you made it. Yeah.
I was like,
I know those feelings are like,
dude, it was nuts. And for something like skating, like that's like a crazy thing. And it's such a small sport in a small world. And it was dope because I started going to competitions, and then I started winning. And then sponsors started like offering me stuff, because I was young, man. Like I was like 11 years old competing in the elite group, like 17 and up, because they're like, you can't compete with the rink rats.
Kids, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Paul, pull up like this first YouTube video. I think, how old are you in this video right here?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yo, little B.
How old are you here, dog?
Holy shit. How old am I? Like, I'd say it's probably 12 or 13.
Wow. For those of you listening, he is a young Brandon out here just skating. Is this like your local, is this your rink, the one that you grew up at?
No, this is in Atlanta. This is Sparkles.
No way. He's hitting head spins right now, and all the other kids in the room are just staring at him.
Jeez. There's the Sparkles of Gwinnett. Yeah, this was like a part of the time where I was traveling all the time.
No way, dog.
Man.
That's awesome, man. So you've been doing it since you were super young, traveling around.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's Tony right there. Yo. The black and gold, the white skates. Oh, yep.
Oh, hey.
I wish I was still that flexible.
Damn, dog. So crazy. It's such like a unique thing. Like you don't see this all the time. It's so wild. So then you just made a career out of just traveling around competing against other people doing the similar jam skating, or just skating in general?
Well, I started competing, right? And then I started winning, and then I got the sponsorship from that. And then I turned pro at the youngest age I turned pro at 14. Wow. When I was skating. And then that was like the youngest anyone's turned pro. And so then after that, after I kind of won in that sense, I was like, all right, I've done fairly well in the competitive side. I was like, let me start exploring shows and stuff. So then I started going around doing shows with the company, just trying to sell skates at all these different rinks. And then we started doing this thing called because I was like a battler. Like I was big in battling. Like, cause there's times where like I would do like routine stuff, but battles were like my shit. Like that was I thrived off of that. So we started doing this thing called the $10,000 challenge. And it's like, if anyone in that rink that I go to can beat me, they get like a sponsorship and like a $10,000 prize or whatever if they can beat me in a battle.
Whoa.
And then
that's a lot of pressure on a kid. Holy crap.
Like, but when I was young, I didn't give a fuck. It's crazy. Like right now, if you put me in that situation, I'd be like,
no, it's almost like that youthful ignorance is bliss thing, where like you just think you have like, don't think of consequences, you just think you can win.
It was because I would just throw shit. Like I would just be like, all right, this dude did that, watch this, I'm gonna try this. And it would just like kind of happen. It was that was a nutty process, because I'm literally in there battling like entire roller rinks.
Yeah,
it was so weird.
Just people trying to win $10,000.
Yeah, just like coming for my neck, and I'm like a little kid, dude. Like I was going against adults, bro. Like I'm like over here going against adults, and like they started doing strategizing on Facebook groups of like, all right, all these skaters, we're all gonna travel to this rink, and try to battle.
You,
and way. I was like, what?
That's so crazy. Try to like tire you out and take you out at the end. Dude, that's crazy.
I was like, shit. Wow,
so it was nuts. And so it just carried out throughout the rest of your life then, right? Because I still see you practicing now. Is that just for fun, or do you still do shows at all? Or
I still do shows here and there. Okay. Like, because I'm with Honor Roll Skate Crew, like, so we're still going around doing shows, or like if a commercial opportunity pops up, like we'll audition and whatnot. So I still love skating. Like that's my heart, that's my soul. Like I'll be 50 years old rolling around, and I like going to adult sessions and just like vibing out, and that's fun. And I love training at Jam. Like I love just skating in the studio, because like that's like private time, and I could just like, especially if I'm mad in the real world of like acting, or like just things aren't working out, I love that I have different forms of expression to kind of get me out of that world. So when I'm skating and blasting the music like off of Sonos or something, I'm just like in a different zone, and it's just like I feel like I'm on like a different high. Like I'm like in a dream state where I'm just doing my thing, and then once it's over, it's kind of like therapy. I don't know.
100%. I feel like it's super necessary in our lives to have these like releases, or like things that we can like go to for escapes. Some of my friends focus solely on stunts so much they have nothing to escape to sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very thankful that we have things like our movement and our bodies that we can go use outside of our jobs.
And that's what I love about Jam too. It's like, because like literally joining all movements, like if I want to flip one day, I'll go to the floor and start flipping.
Totally.
Or if like I want to crack a bag because I'm pissed off, like there's bags there for me to crack. Or if I'm just like trying to vibe out to music, I'll just go in the studio.
Hell yeah.
Like it's...
Yo, Paul, remember to write him a check at the end of this.
Dude, the thing is, I should be writing you a check straight up, because Jam did change my life, because I was unhealthy at a certain point. When I finished shooting season 1, I started like, because I was eating McDonald's every day.
Yeah, and we actually had to talk about this. I wanted to bring this up actually.
Oh, really?
About your journey into fitness. Yeah.
Yeah, so, man. Like Jam helped me out 1,000%.
What happened post season 1? I just remember you telling me like you were gonna start getting back into shape, I guess.
Yeah.
And I saw a post on Instagram about like a suit or something. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. So the suit that I wore to the premiere of season 1, I tried to wear it again for like a birthday party.
Okay.
And the button would not close, and I was like, yo, am I getting fucking fat, dude? I was like, no way. I was like, I always saw it like I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because like even if there's like little abs or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, I'm all right, I guess. And I was just queasing around, just farting around, and I was just like, I started looking at myself more in depth, and I was just like, oh man, I'm unhealthy. Wow. I was like, it's starting to hit me now. Like the young age is not keeping up anymore with my eating habits.
The natural abs when you're young. Totally.
Yes, dude. Because like from normal training, like it just happens. But then I started figuring out, I was like, I need to start eating healthy now. So, because I was eating McDonald's like 2 or 3 times a day. Like,
damn, just out of convenience, or like
I liked it.
No
like,
way.
I still love
what was your go-to?
Like, oh man, I would do double quarter pounder, 10-piece nugget, maybe 2 large fries sometimes if I was feeling it.
Damn.
And then like a large High C orange.
Twice a day?
Dude, yes.
Yo.
Chick-fil-A, I'd go
Whoa.
I'd go to the one in Santa Clarita, the mall over there, and I'd go to that Chick-fil-A, get 2 12-piece nuggets, 2 large fries, and 2 large Powerades, clear them out in one sitting. Yeah.
In one sitting?
Yeah. That was like
holy crap,
my wave, bro, when I was younger.
Wow.
Yo. Supersized this motherfucker.
Wow. Holy crap. So then what did you do? You just changed your eating habits and got on a workout plan, or what did you commit to?
So I really got addicted to the scale of seeing the numbers go down. So I started changing how I ate. I started drinking a gallon of water a day. Like,
yeah, I see you carrying this always. Yeah.
Got this guy right over here.
No more soda?
No more. I haven't drank soda in years.
Wow.
Years.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't like treadmills. I don't like running. I was like, that shit's kind of whack to me personally. Cause like, if I'm running on a treadmill, I'll give up in 5 minutes. 100%. I'll just be like, that was enough. I'm breaking a sweat. But if I'm skating or if I'm boxing or if I'm flipping, I have no clue I'm working out.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like having fun. I'm just like, all right, yeah, I want to try this combo. And same thing with skating or whatever. I'm going to try this spin to do this. And I'll just keep working it till I get it. And then time flies.
Yeah, hours have passed. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to be there longer.
Totally.
You know? So I was going to jam every day. Because there's open gym every day, so I was there. I would usually skate a lot, and that's where all these like skating videos on my Instagram.
I started seeing you all the time. I was like, damn, he's really making the most of this.
Yeah, man, it was definitely dope. And I would layer up. I'd put like a hoodie on and then a winter jacket over it, and I was just like, I'm just gonna sweat.
Yeah, okay.
And then I lost. What was I at? I was at 173 when I started, and then I cut down to 150.
No way.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It was pretty nuts.
That's crazy. Holy crap!
But then I started getting skinny.
What amount of time was that? Like a couple months or?
Yeah, it was a couple months. I think it was like over the course of like 3 months.
These pictures here go back one.
Oh snap! This guy.
Is this so this next one here? This is season 1. The next one.
Oh, so the one left was like before season 1, and then so that was the premiere for. Oh, actually, that was a Netflix event for your consideration for like the Emmys, and so this was at a birthday party. The left one. Oh my gosh! Look at that fat Filipino guy. What is he doing?
It's wild.
And then this guy over here on the right. Oh my gosh! That's kind of crazy to look at right now.
Kind of crazy. You can see a big difference, man. Yeah, it's super funny to see.
Well, and it was funny because I got really skinny. Right, I got like too skinny since I was doing so much cardio.
Yeah.
And then people were like, you gotta start lifting now. And then I met a buddy, my buddy Nico, who taught me everything I know about lifting.
Cool.
And then that's when this started coming into play, where
awesome.
I started going upstairs too, because there's the weight room. So I started like lifting and just trying things out. And there's a time where I dropped in the weight room upstairs too.
At gym?
Yes, dude. I put a 45 and a 35 on each side.
Okay.
And I was like, I got this. I did a 45 and a 25 for a couple reps. And then I went for it, and I was just...
No way.
And then I thought I was gonna get in trouble, dog.
Yeah,
I was like sitting there like, oh fuck, oh my gosh.
That's so funny, dude. Well, it's crazy to see the journey. And then I just have one other question, because when I was like looking at these clips of you skating online, I stumbled upon some of these other clips here, which looks like you also, in addition to skating, you also ride bikes.
Yeah, BMX, man.
So when did this BMX journey start? Like, because like, yeah, you clearly like rode at a level where you could learn tricks, right? Like you're here at the parks.
Man, this is crazy to see. Like, Santa Clarita Skate Park, what up? Skirt. Damn, this is so funny. So the BMX thing, it started because I was a skateboarder originally.
No way, so you skateboard too? Holy crap.
Man. Like,
so
that's
skateboards, roller skates.
Oh, the skateboard's in the trunk right now, baby.
Way.
But yeah, I started that's where everything started for me.
No
like
way.
I was always skateboarding growing up.
Before breakdancing.
No way. That was like my wave, like skateboarding. Well, skateboarding and breakdancing actually, like at the same time, because I do like handstands on skateboards and stuff, and like try to incorporate it. But I was always on wheels back in the day. Skateboarding, I was doing aggressive skating, and then BMX. But skateboarding was how it all started. And then in middle school, and throughout school, I was known as a skateboarder. But then my friends, they started getting bikes, and then I was getting left behind. Like, they're all riding, and I'm like, oh, wait up, guys.
Yeah, it's slower. Yeah, you're right.
Kick pushing. And then I was like, shit, I got to get a bike. So I ended up getting a BMX bike, but I started way later. And so my friends were getting good. Like, they had all their tricks locked in and stuff. And then I got a bike way later than them. And then once I started riding, I was trash. Like, I was so trash. Like, I would get made fun of for being the worst in the group.
Of course.
It was pretty nuts. And because it was me and my buddy Jeff, like, people would make fun of me and him. And then Jeff was riding with them for a bit, and then I started, and then it was like a competition. Like, they'd make it into a competition.
Who could be the less worst?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna be the least worst of the homies.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Like, and so I would get made fun of a lot for riding, and then, like I said, like, I always suck at something at first, but then I really grind out to like make sure I end up like on the top of my game in anything that I do.
Hell yeah.
So it was dope. Yeah, that's when I started getting better at BMX. I went to like Camp Woodward and stuff in cool. Pennsylvania, which was awesome. Wow. And I started learning, and I'd be like outside in the wintertime Chicago with gloves on, just trying to learn 180s and stuff on a bike.
So dope.
And then things just started coming together, and it was kind of funny because I think the creativity when it comes to film started piquing my interest, but subliminally, because I'd make like all these like little BMX videos and edit them myself, and I was so wary of camera angles and shots, and I started falling in love with that. And then now I think about it, I'm like, man, maybe this was always meant for me to get into the creative realm of like directing in any sense, because that's like the future goal.
Okay.
To direct something like a film, like, whoo, that's scary as shit too.
Yeah, totally.
But it's crazy to like, even just go through memory lane right now. Like I'm like freaking out.
Yeah, actually. Looking back at all this stuff, right?
It's
cool to see though that like you've always had movement as like a big part of your life. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here, is because obviously most of our listeners are like very inclined athletically or have some fascination with movement.
Yeah.
But to be able to take that and break into a realm that's so different, like acting, is like a totally different world. So like, say we have a young kid out here right now who's back in Chicago and he's thinking about acting instead. Like, what advice do you have for him? Like, what advice would you give to young up and coming kids that want to maybe transition their life or get into acting? What would you give them advice to do?
My advice would be that it's possible, because like this goes for anything that people just want to do, because I feel like you can live your dreams in any sense of the word, you know, like I just feel like anything's possible, but you really just got to put your mind forward to it. Like I feel like you can't get caught up in the system, because I feel like there's that system of which is a great system for people that want to do it, or if you need this system to get to where you want to be, of course use it. But like, you go to normal school, you go to college, you get your normal job, and then you call it a day. I'm 100%. Like, that was not my path. Because me personally, like, I never liked school. Like, I was never, like, into it. Like, I actually...
You're only half Asian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what up? Like, skating, I mean, with school, I mean, like, I sucked at school at first. I remember when I was younger, I was crying to my mom, being like, Mom, I can't read. And then she's like, it's okay, honey, like, you'll learn. And, like, whenever I wanted to be a part of people's math groups, like, they would be like, oh, we don't want to work with him because he's like kind of dumb. And I was like, shit, man. I was like, I got to step up my school game. And then I started stepping up school as well. And then I started getting like in honors classes and stuff, because the grinding. And then, so advice to people, just, you can do whatever the hell you want. Like, and I come from like a normal suburb in Chicago, and I'm living my dreams in LA, and there's still much more to do and much more to grow. And other advice is, always be a student, never a master, because I will take in anything. Like I like to put into this terms too. Like, I'll always be a white belt. I'll never be a black belt in anything that I do, because I just always want to continue to learn and learn and learn. So that's where I'm at now, and that's my advice to people too. Because even once you start seeing success, I feel like a lot of people just become know-it-alls, and I'm like, nah, you keep learning. There's so much more room to grow. So that's my advice, and just make the jump. Make the jump, because a lot of people don't. Like, you get to the ledge, and then you're like, fuck it. I gotta go try something. Like, just play it safe. Don't play it safe. We got one life to live.
100%, man. I agree completely. And let's say someone someone's made this jump. They're out here in LA right now, and they're looking to, I don't know, I guess, pursue acting on a very serious level. And for someone like you that's had experience, is there anything that they can take step by step out here that you would suggest, like classes, get signed? Like, is there anything that they should pursue systematically, I guess? I know you talked about staying out of the system, but is there a part of the system they can do here in LA? Yeah,
I think you definitely got to work because there's a course to take a journey to take with acting, and you're going to go through a lot of the ups and downs of it. But once you learn how to work this business, it becomes a lot easier. Like, you really can't get intimidated by it. And you just you have to have the patience, right? Like, it takes a long time to get to where you want to be. But with acting, start in an acting class, find your community of actors that you like. And when I mean starting acting class too, go audit. And because just check out which class like fits your vibe of like what you want to do,
even the teaching style.
Yes, because there's some people that don't mesh, because there's so many different styles of acting. Like, there's the Meisner technique, and then there's method acting. There's so many different techniques. It's like kind of find what works for you as an individual, and don't get caught up in, there's no right way.
Yeah.
You know, so you find what works for you, and I feel like that'll help you with going to different studios and trying to figure it out. And then you find your friends that love what you do as well, and then you guys can all, because you need your community. Because I have friends that I can lean on if I didn't get something, and I'm like, fuck.
Totally.
Like, I didn't get it, and then they're like, no, dog, we get it. Like, we're auditioning too. It's just, it is what it is. Let's all support each other. So I thank God for my friends too that I have, because they're a good backbone to have out here. So find your community. And then when it comes to representation as well, find reps that care about you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not always about the big name, because if you're in the big name, like let's say you're at the same agency as The Rock,
yeah,
he gets paid a lot of money.
I was at an agency with 3 letters that also reps people like Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
I quickly found out I don't mean shit.
Yeah, dude, it's a scary thing. Like, that's because people want to be there because they see those people there, but I'm like, you're gonna get lost in the sauce if you're not ready.
Totally.
And that's how I feel too. Like, I would want to be ready for that. I just want people that care about me. Like, I want to be able to text my agent or manager.
Yeah.
So I think you need that care, and you have to be careful with managers out here too, because like me, I don't even have a contract with my agent and manager. Like, they just take their 10% and then call it a day. But there's some managers out here that are little fuckers, man. Like, they'll try to lock you into a 3-year contract for 20%, and it's like, what?
It's crazy.
It's like, what? So an agent and a manager works for you. You pay them. It's not like, of course they work for you to try to get you jobs, but don't get caught up begging to be repped.
100%. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
The talent is really, they have the connections, but the talent is really what's going to drive them.
Yeah.
They make commissions off of us booking things.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Like, because I think people get too caught up in begging for their food, and I'm like, know your worth. Know your worth, and find someone that cares, because if they care, you guys will figure it out. Totally. And I'm thankful to have my reps, because they care about me, I care about them, and we work well. And I don't want anyone to be stepped on, or like don't be afraid to hit up your people. Like, just be a good person. Like, that's my thing with that. And then what else for acting? Auditions, just, you're not going to book everything. I feel like people get caught up in that. It's not just going to happen all in one year. Like, for me to get my first acting job, it took me 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
To get like a first real acting job, and then OA took like 4.5. Wow,
that's crazy.
So never give yourself a time limit. Like, I don't have a plan B. Like, this is my grind. This is what I got to do. And what else with acting? It's going to take a lot of auditions. Use those as learning lessons. When, like, if you bomb an audition, that's just a learning lesson. Like, totally. I look at it as win or learn, never a win or loss. Like,
100%.
Learn from the losses. Shout out John Kavanaugh.
100%. Shout out. I'm a huge fan. Well, that's awesome, man. That's invaluable advice. And so for you personally, what's the end game at this point? You kind of touched on it. You want to direct at some point, or what are your goals in the immediate future right now?
Dog, you just said end game.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, no spoilers.
I loved it, dude.
You seen it? Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I got to go to screening at Disney. It was sick.
Damn, that is sick.
I saw it last week and had to be quiet for like 5 days.
Yeah, I feel you, because I haven't been really able to talk to anybody about it. And I'm like, how have you guys not watched it? Yeah. But I was like there at the Thursday night.
Yeah, we got to wait like one more episode before we can talk about it.
I know, right? But it lived up to the hype.
It was dope.
That's all I'll say.
Go check out Endgame, y'all.
Go check it out.
Shout out to all the homies that worked on it.
Oh, damn, that's so sick.
Yeah.
What up? But hell yeah, so the end game for me. Sorry, I got off topic. I would love to direct, man. I love acting, and I'm still learning in that realm as well. And I'm thankful for the director that I have on OA, because he teaches me so much about directing.
That's cool.
Like, I know about throwing a 30mm lens on, or a 50mm lens on, or a 20, and now I kind of understand how the shots are, because I think that was the difference from season 1 to season 2. Season 1, I was kind of just going in there with what I knew from dance camp and doing whatever I had and doing my thing. And then while sitting there, I remember being lost at certain points.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we're going to throw a 30 on and we're going to do a turnaround. And I was like sitting there like, shit, I don't know what this means. But just like play the part. Just act like you know what's going on.
Totally.
And then he's like, and then when they're setting up the shot and they're like, well, we can't jump the line. Like, I don't, so we're figuring this out. And I'm sitting there like, I have no clue what they're talking about.
Totally. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what the shot looks like or anything. I'm just kind of doing my thing. I didn't know when there was a single on me. I didn't know when it was a wide shot. I had no clue what was going on. So then after we wrapped season 1, I talked to the director and I was like, hey, I want to have a sit down and I want to ask you some questions that I had while filming season 1. And then he broke down everything for me when it comes down to lens sizes, jumping the line, when there's a camera just on you and then the A camera, B camera, what's all going on.
Single, 2-shot, 3-shot. Yeah,
yes.
Totally.
And like having that awareness on set helped me out so much. So that's another thing I'd say for actors actually is do your research.
100%.
When it comes to that. And like, I love it so much. Like I had IMDb Pro before I was anything, and like just looking at all the agencies, learning so much. And I think I kind of look at it as like when you're buying a car, make sure you know everything about that car before you start really diving in. I'd say the same thing with acting. Know everything about production companies, producers, know all that stuff. Cause once you go in, you're prepped and you're not lost. And then instead of being at a dealership where they're trying to screw you over and it's like, yeah, I'll just take it. It's like, because I just went through that, like having to get a car. But
I try to tell people all the time to be a sponge on set, and I'm glad you touched on that because like even in our regards as the other side, like you're doing the acting side, we're doing the stunt side. Yeah, a lot of guys will show up on jobs and they just do the falls. They do the fight scene, and then when they're not doing that, they just listen to music or they're talking and they're chilling. Whereas like I was always constantly listening to every department, because what you don't realize is as you move up to be a coordinator, or if you want a second unit direct, you have all these interdepartmental talks where I need to go talk to grips and electric, and I need to request this from props, and I need to go talk to the effects team and ask for a certain material to be utilized. And if you're just on set, just focused on your thing and you're not learning all these things, you're never going to pick it up unless you have someone like that director that breaks it down for you. So that's crazy. It's cool that he took the time to do that. It's a rarity. Yeah, it was super rare.
Very thankful for him. He's definitely different than everyone else out here, for sure. And like you said, just be a good person on set. I feel like that's such a big thing because once people reach a certain level, a lot of people switch up and they kind of just like, I'll never be a diva on set, or I'll never be a nuisance, because I look at filmmaking as a collaboration rather than focusing on me. Totally. Because we're all working together to make this story happen. Like we're all trying to tell this story. We all have to work together to make this happen. So I think when you're a nuisance on set, you're just getting in the way. Yeah, basically. 100%. So I'm glad like that you touched on that as well, of like making friends on set, because it'll make that experience so much better for you, because that's when it stops feeling like a job.
Totally.
You know, because we love it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's been a universal principle on the JAMCast with people that have worked a lot with like very long-term careers, and they just say be a good person, because people only want to work with you if you're a good person. Yeah, they don't want to work with assholes.
Exactly. Like when I'm at lunch, I'm sitting with wardrobe and hair, just talking to them, and it's cool to chop it up with people like that, because when you're a good person to them, they'll be great to you. Yes. Like, I always, like, when you have a trailer, right, and, like, you have your wardrobe.
Always hang it up.
I always hang it up.
Always hang it up.
And, like, and it's crazy to me that people that don't, but everyone's just raised differently. And shout out to Frank Ocean. I wish we'd grown up on the same advice. Like, totally. It's always just different how you're raised. But,
100%, man. So do you have anything in the immediate pipeline right now, or what's everyday life for you right now? Are you back in classes? You just focused on yourself?
Right now it's been auditions. Season 2's out, so that's been fresh. Yes. It's been out for like about a month, and that's been doing really well, which I'm thankful for. Because you never know, like while you're filming and stuff, like everything feels great, and then once like post production's going on, you're just sitting there waiting, like
you're just at the mercy of the editors.
Yeah, man. And there's something I had to tackle this season, which was a pretty touchy subject, or like it's a very thin line to balance on, because if you lean like certain ways, you can fall off. And I just wanted to tell that story correctly. So there's a lot of pressure, I feel from telling that. And you'll see it in season 2 if people watch.
Yeah. We won't give any spoilers away, so people are intrigued to go check it out.
Yeah, no spoilers. But yeah, so season 2's out, just auditioning right now, and then just trying to find the right next job. Because there's been some stuff that ended up in the pipeline that I was like, I don't know, like it doesn't seem like the right next thing, because I don't want to just do anything. You know, I want to be picky and choosy of what I do, and I'm glad that I have reps that understand that as well.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. Just living life right now, I think. Yeah, just living life, enjoying life, and just appreciating every day.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it. Sounds like you got your head on straight, and I appreciate you coming by and sharing your story, dog. It's some invaluable advice I feel like you just gave everyone.
Damn, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so real quick, man, take a look. What are your socials so everyone can follow you online?
Okay, word. Instagram, Brandon Perea. Twitter, Brandon Perea. YouTube, Brandon Perea. BrandonPerea. I'm glad that I have all of them under one thing. Even Snapchat.
I don't have all of mine. Someone took mine.
Really?
Someone even has my website for my real name. Yeah.
Dog.
It's crazy.
That's fucked up.
It's crazy, man. So lucky you.
Wong, man.
Yeah, someone owns mine. I have to use the hyphen one for now.
I think it's because like I have a white boy name with a Puerto Rican last name.
Yeah, it's
My name is Brandon.
This is very true. Yeah,
came from like Brandon from 90210, I guess.
No
My mom like was a fan of that show.
No way, man. That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming by, man. I really appreciate it.
Travie the boy.
We'll definitely have to have you back on for any future projects or anytime you want to talk about something. Hit us up.
Oh, dude, let's do it.
Hell yeah.
My G.
Well, yo, thank you guys as always for tuning in for another episode. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for brand new episodes each and every week. Join us every Monday for brand new jam breakdowns, looking at the top 30 clips throughout the movement world. And then join us every Friday for brand new JAMCast just like this, where we interview influential people from all around the world. So with that being said, we've got to give a special shout out to Paul Whitecotton running things behind the camera as always. A very special guest to our guest this week, Mr. Brandon Perea. Go check him out on Netflix's show, The OA, Season 2.
Go to jam, y'all. Come train.
Hey.
Come train,
Come
dog.
through and train. Yes. Come through and train. And as always, guys, I'm your host, Travis Wong. Thanks for joining us here on another JAMCast. Until next time, we will see you all soon. Peace.